Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel yet again for my second video on my real estate journey. So I haven't been licensed yet. I am currently studying like crazy, watching as many YouTube videos, exam prep tests, anything I can do to kind of like get this going here so that I can, really jump into this with a running head start. So there is one channel that I want to give a shout out to that has been really helping me, and it is called the Real Estate Exam Prep on YouTube. He is absolutely amazing. His name is Stu, and he is really great at explaining things in case you're in my same position where you're trying to study for your real estate exam and you're kind of like not wanting to really read the exam book as in-depthly without having someone teach it to you to get a further understanding. Because if you're like me, I talk really fast and I also read very fast. And one of the tips that he recommends on his videos is to read as if you are reading to a kindergartner, to fully understand that. And believe it or not, it truly helps me. So when I'm taking these practice exams, they do kind of try to trick you with the questions that they're asking, and it really helps to slowly read it. And I was like, oh my gosh, why have I not been taking tests like this my whole life? So I just wanted to give him a shout out because he's amazing, and I am going to be continually watching all of his videos. And they're pretty detailed. They're like 2-hour long videos, but it's so worth it. So I also kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background of why I started getting into real estate and what interested me in it. So I think I may have mentioned a little bit, I built a camper van last, I would say 2 summers ago actually. So 2021, I want to say. And that kind of got me interested into like flipping, because basically I built a tiny home in this van and I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I could build a tiny home. And that kind of evolved into buying an investment property. And that turned into me becoming obsessive and buying and reading all of these books. I'm not going to go through and tell you all the details of these, but I will kind of just give you a quick glance at the ones that I read and that I love. The company Bigger Pockets, and these are all in the Bigger Pockets family. And they are basically a community where everybody investing real estate, whether you're a lender, a broker, a contractor, kind of a huge spot for everybody to get together and make connections, because that's what real estate is, right? Relationships and connections. Anyways, back to the books. So I really loved the house hacking book. My girlfriend and I wanted to house hack to begin with. We ended up not house hacking, which I kind of, really want to go back to. I think our next property should be a multi-unit. Since we already went the short-term rental Airbnb property, I think that we now need to house hack. And I think that's going to be financially beneficial for us to do that, to get our mortgage paid for and also to make a little bit of extra money if we get like a 3-unit. I read the Buy, Rehab, Repeat, the Buy, Rehab, Rent, Refinance, and Repeat book. This one was also really great for dealing with like rehabbing and things like that and how to get the best bang for your buck when you flip. These books are so detailed and really easy to understand. That is what really kept me going, because I have severe ADHD. And the fact that these books kept me intrigued, I was hooked. Honestly, because I get very bored with any book that doesn't captivate me within the first couple of pages. Like, I'm out. So, continuing on, the Multifamily Millionaire, because eventually that is the goal. I would like to own, so anything over a 5-unit is considered a anything that's 2 units or above is multifamily. But I eventually want to own a much bigger property. In the long term, I'm thinking maybe I would want to own like a 7 or 8 unit property, but that's coming into the future. Of course, they have tax books telling you about all the strategies and tips on how to save money. It's incredible how you can save so much money. There's so many tax loopholes for people in real estate. It blew my mind. I was like, this is really crazy that schools and things are not teaching people how to be financially smart. But these are really 2 great books that I would absolutely pick up to find ways that real estate is really great for tax write-offs. Absolutely amazing. I also read, I gotta get some of these out of the way. It's a big pile. Short-term rental, long-term wealth. That was a quick little read, but well worth it. A lot of information. Estimating rehab costs. I'm telling you, I've read literally so many books on this, and it was actually very helpful. I can see now on learning all these terms in real estate, because all of these books use those terms. So I've already learned a majority of those terms. And so I definitely think that that is going to help me with my real estate journey. And two more that I'm going to tell you about is long distance real estate investing. Because before we bought this cabin in Northern Illinois, we were like, we should just go crazy. We were in Palm Springs on vacation, and I was like, do you think we should buy an Airbnb in Palm Springs? Of course, that was not a great idea to buy one long distance to start with. The one we have now is an hour away from us, and that is a challenge in itself sometimes when dealing with like a problem, because that one problem is going to take me 2 hours out of my day to figure out. It could be something as simple as like changing a fuse. So definitely if we had a long-term or long-distance rental, we would need a property manager for sure, because I can see that being an issue. And then lastly, managing rental properties. Well, that led right into that book nicely. And this gave us some really good insight on leases and issues that you could come across with potential tenants. This one is really a gem if you are, getting into investing in real estate. This is definitely a must, especially if you're going to be managing by yourself to start, which I think that you should if you only have a few properties. So these are all of the books that I've read in the past and that I really found great value in. So I suggest if you're into that, I will list these in the description below if you want to check one of those out. It's not a plug. I'm not getting paid for it. I just really love these books. And so now I'm going to touch on how my studying has been going. There are some things that I am nervous about. For instance, the math. It's not insanely difficult. It's not algebra. But it's just, I haven't done math like this in a long time. I haven't really needed it. So I'm kind of really trying to focus on that and find videos on that and details about that. Otherwise, everything's going pretty smoothly. I'll read a chapter on the computer and or sometimes in the book, and I will cross-check it with a video to kind of really understand it and get it into my head. So I think it is going to take me, probably the full 10 weeks because I'm taking a lot of time for each section. I don't want to memorize. I want to understand, because I think that all of the test quizzes are showing me that the questions aren't going to be, what's the definition of this? They are all scenario based. So you really have to grasp the concept of these things and not just remember the definition. So thank you for tuning in. I will definitely be updating you, and I am going to be reaching out to some more of my real estate friends, and if I meet up with them, I could possibly add them into the video and ask some questions. And add that into my channel just to mix it up for you guys. Again, thank you. Please subscribe. Please share. It's going to help grow my channel and help just get information out there if other people are trying to change careers at 38. I'd love to motivate anybody to do the same, because I think there's never a time when it's too late to switch it up and do something that you love.